When I first started getting into training, it wasn't a thing that you would take pictures during workouts. It wasn't a thing that guys would try and get fashion, try and wear something cool for workouts. It wasn't a thing that trainers would do runs. And like now, like each trainer has their own runs. Everyone has a photographer. So I feel like I started a whole wave in the training game. GQ, what's going on? It's Chris Brickley, NBA skills coach, and you're watching The Assist. From the photography, from the fashion, from the runs, players posting workout videos with me and Melo, we kind of started that wave. That's something that means a lot to me. Shout out Melo for getting my foot in the door. I owe him for the rest of his life, and even like with Cayenne, I tell Melo all the time, I'm gonna give it my all with your son. He played a big role, I think, just because he's such a skilled player. Kawhi hit me up and was like, I want to learn Melo's footwork. Can you teach it to me? So I go to Melo, I asked him, he's like, yeah. We did like 2 weeks with Kawhi. If you look at his career, it was like 10 points a game, 12 points a game, 15. After those 2 weeks, he really incorporated that, and the rest of his career is 20s and MVPs, and so I think that really helped his career. That was part of the reason why I actually left the Knicks, because I'm like, damn, I can really teach a player something and it's gonna change their career. I wanna do this more. If you were to be like, what exactly do you want? I want someone to walk in the gym right now, and I want them to be in 8th grade. I don't want anyone to know who they are. When I started working out Donovan, he had 3,000 followers. Now I think he has like 3.7 million. His freshman season, which people don't talk about this anymore, he didn't play much. He played like 12 minutes a game, 4 points a game. Came back his sophomore year, averaged 16 points a game, became a lottery pick. And now he's this, superstar we see. Over the years, we've gone through phases. We went through finishing phases, we went through dribbling phases, we went through righty pickup phases, lefty pickup phases. I think right now, the phase we're in is just him creating space off his side steps, because as he's getting older, we want less wear and tear on his body. And with the side step, he's not driving, not getting fouled. Each player has a different workout. That's like a communication thing between me and the player. The player will tell me what he thinks he needs to work on. I'll say what I think he needs to work on. I'll talk to his coaching staff. I might talk to his agent. We'll sit down and literally write out a plan for each summer. So, I be seeing on Twitter and stuff, people are like, oh, he just does the same drills with everyone. It's like, no, it's actually every player's doing a different drill. So Jimmy Butler, his workout routine is also a little different. Before we did our first workout, he's fired or let go of his last 4 or 5 trainers because they just wanted to shoot threes with them, and they just wanted to work on dribble moves, and that's not Jimmy's game. Jimmy's game is finishing. He's someone that needs his touch. So like we start the workout out and we're shooting just different shots in the paint, different shots around the paint. His big thing is if I'm making those shots around the paint, then all my other shots are gonna be going. So if you actually were to watch a game and he starts the game off and he makes a few shots around the paint, he's gonna have a hot night that night. His big thing is we need to work out the night before a game, so I'll be in rhythm the next day. And that's why I was traveling around with the team. I think this past year I might have stayed at his house more than I stayed at my house. We became very close. At the end of the day, being a trainer, I'm not the reason why these players are doing these great things, but I feel like I can just add stuff for their mental and little things in their game for their confidence. And it was cool to see Jimmy have the most efficient year of his career this past year. And to the media, he told them that it was because of me. So that was really cool. With James, we actually have had a relationship for like 6 years. Started working a little bit. Following summer, we worked a little bit more. Once he got to Brooklyn, we were working out every single night. And then he gets to Philly, we continue work. I feel like I was working with him in the midst of when he was playing in a way that was controversial, with the step backs, with this being creative. I thought it was really cool. I think he's still one of the most elite players in the league. So James Harden, he's one of the probably most creative players of our generation, and he works out in an unorthodox way. He still does a lot of fundamental things, but we also work a lot on creating space. Once we get into the workout, he's big with the step backs, he's big with the side steps. I've been doing this for like 8 years, and I've never seen a player do these drills. So I actually took some stuff from him, and I used it with other players. So shout out James Harden for that. When we first started working, I'd be like 70% with the step backs and stuff. He's like, let's go 50-50. 50% of it would be out of rhythm. We're just getting our spots and pulling up. 50% of it would be working on his handle, working on the step backs, that type of deal. But it's actually impossible to guard because you have to think you're dribbling the ball and he's either gonna step back and shoot it, so you need to be tight on him, or he's gonna fake the step back and drive by you. So as a defender, you're guessing. He's impossible to guard. So Paolo Banchero was just Rookie of the Year. Something we're working on is consistency. So he's shown how strong he is, he showed how athletic he is. Now we're just really working around the top of the key area, and we work on just being a consistent shooter and shooting off the dribble. He's an athletic freak, he's strong, he has handle. His next step is just being a consistent shooter. This offseason, compared to last offseason, it's night and day. I really think, and everyone in the gym thinks he's gonna be an all-star next season.
There's a lot of celebrities and rappers that you also work with. What's it like working with some of those guys?
At first, I thought it was super cool. Just through my lifestyle and everything, it wasn't as cool, but it was more like, if I have a relationship with you and I listen to your music, let's do it. Then you have a story like J. Cole. He's like, I want to really try and become a basketball player. So we were in this exact gym every night. His kids would go to sleep. He'd get in his bike with the security guard, drive his bike from Tribeca to the summit, and we would stay in the paint and only shoot in the paint for 3 straight months. And we would be in there for like 2 hours a night, just shooting with one hand. And then I'd be like, yo, this isn't normal. Like I'd tell him that. He'd be like, well, when I'm in the studio, I go 12 hours. So I'm like, yeah, but like, this is like a lot on your body. Like I'd like explain that to him. So for 3 months we shot in the paint, then we backed up for like 3 months, and we really like broke it down to a point where he was shooting as good as NBA players. Problem was, he's 35 years old when he started, this dream. And so I feel like his body kind of wore down. If he started this like at 25, I really think that he could have gotten a 10-day. It's funny, like my manager probably thinks I'm crazy because I gotta sit down with him every day and I'm like, listen, like when I wake up tomorrow morning, I want my brand to be bigger than it was yesterday. And I really, that's my goal. I just want to keep growing. I'm still starving. Just keep doing what I'm doing, but I want to really, like I started the Chris Brickley Invitational, and this is the first year of it. Had the top players in the country. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. We had like 5 McDonald's All-Americans. We had a bunch of the #1 kids in the country. So I'm just trying to now cover that. So then in like 10 years, I have all the NBA players. Like I'm trying to put that foundation in, but I feel like everything's going in the right direction.